at the very beginning, she lists different places where there is kind of forms of separatism. So she mentions things like, well, women's refuges or battered women's shelters, as I think she refers to it in there. But she lists a lot of things that actually we don't have now anyway. So she lists things like women's bars or women's art or things like that. And so that really struck me when I reread it this time, was about how much actually we don't even have a lot of those spaces anymore anyway. So that, you know, at the time that it's written, she's talking about, you know, different ways that there are forms of separatism that actually now we don't have things like women's bars, we don't have things like, you know, women's bookshops or those kinds of things. That a lot of those places have disappeared anyway. So now for women maybe coming to sort of thinking about separatism now, there's also less access to those kinds of options for separatism anyway. Which you know, I hadn't necessarily, the first time that I read it, hadn't really kind of picked up on that, but it really struck me this time that actually how many of those places still exist even.
Absolutely. And obviously as well, like at the time that this was written, it was before all the transgender sort of onslaught, wasn't it? So I think the way that she ends it just sounds so where is it? The way that she ends it just sounds so prescient, where she says the original sin, like for those of us who do practice some kind of, you know, level or form of separatism, and she said the original sin is the separation which you know, the acts that we do within that which these presuppose, and it is that act of separation, not our art or philosophy, not our speech making, nor our sexual acts or abstinences, for which we will be persecuted when worst comes to worst. It's such a really chilling ending, isn't it? And you think, gosh, just who could have imagined exactly how much worse, and you know, that it could get, and how much worse is it going to get. I just found that, and the fact that she says it's the act of separation is what is seen as the problem, rather than once you've separated, what you do within that is less, because I think a lot of the time, especially within sort of feminist activism, there's a lot of focus on what you're doing, and you know, but often it doesn't even necessarily really involve that.